After a big road win at USC last Saturday, the Utah football team is back home tomorrow to host number 18 Arizona State, and we're here to get you ready for a game that could go a long way in deciding the Pac-12 South champion for 2021. Thanks for joining us for our monthly Utah Virtual Huddle. I'm Mike Lagerschultz from the Echoes Football Center on the Utah campus. A full show ahead. Coming up, interviews with volleyball All-American Dani Drews plus quarterback Cam Rising drops by the show. My colleague Kevin Stoker from Utah Alumni Relations will drop by to interview Kris Bosman, who is the new Chief Alumni Relations Officer for the U. The Muss is turning 20 years old this year. Kevin will talk to one of its founding members in our Superfan segment, and we'll get you ready for the game tomorrow with some tailgating ideas from Chef Pete, plus our keys to the game. But first, we want to take a moment to honor Utah football player Aaron Lowe, who lost his life tragically on September 26. He was laid to rest this past Monday in his hometown, Mesquite, Texas, and he was described as someone who was infectiously optimistic, who loved for the sake of loving, and was a true friend. Here's our tribute to Aaron Lowe.
I loved Aaron Lowe, just as virtually everyone that knew him did. He was a very charismatic young man, very popular with his teammates. Aaron, I know you can hear us, and I want to say collectively that we love you. I'm truly grateful to have had the privilege to coach you. I'll always keep you in my mind and my heart forever. And I'm very confident, Aaron, that we will meet again and we will see you again.
That dude was the hardest worker, most compassionate, loving person that I ever knew. 22 forever.
I know he touched every single one of us here. He's a loving human being. I just want everybody to know, like, I love y'all. If y'all need somebody, I'm here, because he would have been here for you.
And I can personally tell you, he was just one of the most resilient people that I've ever met. His faith was strong. He always loved and cared for others. I just ask everyone here, have the same mindset. No matter what you're going through in life, just know that, better days are ahead. Just do what ALO would do, man. For ALO, man, I know you're here, man. We love you. From the bottom of my heart, man, we love you.
ALO would light up the room with that big smile on his face. Aaron was more than a teammate, a best friend. That was my brother. That was like the big brother that I always wanted.
And let's all get 22% better.
Utah Mini! Utah Mini! Mini! Parti out! Parti out! Le parti! Utah! 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 Hey, Utah! 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 Hey, Utah! 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 Hey, let's go! Hello, 1, 2! 1, 2, 3! Hello!
The redshirt freshman defensive back was loved by so many on this campus and in this community. The Aaron Lowe Memorial Scholarship Fund has been established to honor him. If you want to contribute, go to the website on our screen. And also, you may have seen this on social media over the weekend. The Utah Red Zone store will be selling 22% better everyday T-shirts to honor Aaron Lowe, as well as Ty Jordan, the Utah running back who passed away last December. The T-shirts are not available at this point, but continue to check back at the Utah Red Zone website at uredzone.com. The proceeds will go to scholarship funds named in honor of both Aaron and Ty. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Aaron's family and friends. Well, somehow, some way, the Utah football team managed to persevere through a couple of rough weeks to get a big road win, a milestone road win at USC last Saturday, and they did it in dominant fashion. Utah captured its first win at the Coliseum since 1916 to take down the Trojans 42-26. Here's a look back at an emotionally charged win for the Utes last Saturday.
This is a significant win for this program. Utah will win for the first time in Los Angeles since 1916, since Herbert Hoover was president.
They did it for themselves, and they did it for their fallen teammate, Aaron Lowe. And it's a great night to be a Ute right here in Los Angeles, California. Welcome into sunny and beautiful Southern California in the LA Memorial Coliseum just off of downtown here in Los Angeles.
And the Southern California Trojans prepare to take on the Utes.
The University of Utah tries to go 2-0 in Pac-12 play.
Pattern right on cue to the tight end, Kincaid. A first down in the Trojans.
Second down and 4. They turn and they give it on the fly. Sweet brain. Keithy's got it. Keithy to the pylon. Keithy! Touchdown!
Great penetration by Utah. Xavier Carlton this time. 10-7 our score. Towards the corner, caught, that's Bugs, it's touchdown. Money gets it on the money.
Hand off, no play action, lead flicker, down the middle. He's got a man open in the end zone. So caught, touchdown! Touchdown to Bosman!
Well, we've come to the end of the first half, and Utah with a huge play to close it out, lead by 11. Thomas remains the setback. Now he runs with intentionality. Look out! Tavion! Touchable! Picking him up and putting him down. 4 down territory. They're putting it on the line right here. Into traffic. It's intercepted. They got greedy, and Utah makes them pay.
Tim, you characterized his defense when we were talking about it. What was the phrase that you
Relentless, smart, nasty ball hawks.
Hit from behind and taken down.
Rising will just take it himself. Look at him go.
Cam's got the 10, still on his feet. In the end zone, touchdown! Oh my goodness, what a run!
Rising, boy, he's been money. He's just been outstanding. Play fake, they go that way.
Wide open.
It's wide open, a touchdown.
The scoreboard hit 0. And for the first time in 105 years, and for the first time in the Pac-12 era, the University of Utah has come to the Coliseum in Los Angeles and beat the USC Trojans.
Well, for those of you who came by the pregame tailgate last week, we appreciate your support as well as coming to the game. You can feel your presence there as Utah took down USC to improve to 2-0 in Pac-12 play. Well, one of the people involved in that tailgate event was our new Chief Alumni Relations Officer, Kris Bosman. Kris is a Utah graduate who worked in athletics as well as the Eccles School of Business during her time on campus. Here's Kevin Stoker to introduce you to our new Chief Alumni Relations Officer as well as look back at Homecoming 2021.
Kris, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people on campus know you, but introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Kris Bosman. I'm the new Chief Alumni Relations Officer here at U Alumni. I've been on campus for almost 20 years. I started off as an intern in the athletics department in like the 90s. But I've been the last 11 years at the David Eccles School of Business in a similar role. So really excited to be here leading U Alumni. This is a dream job for me, so just really excited to be here.
It's great. You came in at the busiest time, homecoming week.
Yeah.
How did everything go with those events, and how was it for you?
We had a fantastic homecoming, really thanks to our staff and our Board of Governors and the many alums who participated in homecoming events. It was really top notch. We started off with a 5K that was fantastic. Everybody ran in the rain. It was kind of a chilly day, but it was a lot of fun, a lot of smiles. President Randall even showed up just to say hello to people and then was like, I'll run. And so he ran in the 5K. It was a really beautiful course around campus. Everybody got to see a lot of cool campus buildings, and especially for some people, this has been a while since they've been back to campus, especially with the last couple of years during the pandemic. So it was really fun to be on campus. Then we had a wonderful event with OSHA, the Lifelong Learning. We had a fantastic golf tournament over at Bonneville, which is basically the university's home course. And so that was fun. And then we had a great tailgate, partnered with the parent weekend. That was a lot of fun. And then of course, capped it all off with a big Ute win against Washington State. So it was a fantastic homecoming. Can't wait for next year.
Yeah, next year will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So in your new role, what do you see as the future for the alumni?
You know, what our goal is to try to engage alums at every point in their life, where they live, where they work, where they play. And we have to engage so many more alums across the country. So looking forward to that. President Randall kind of gave me the directive. We want to create an alumni network that has value. So we want to be of value to future students, people who are thinking about coming here as what does the alumni network mean? Does that mean something to have a degree from the University of Utah? To current students, helping students with mentoring, with networking, with hiring, with all sorts of things. Alumni can be a great benefit to students. And then a value of an alumni network to alums. And so we're trying to be all things. And so we've got a lot to do, a lot of big work ahead of us.
It'll be a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
The staff's excited.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard. It's great to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.
All right, a great win by the Utes, and great to meet Kris Bosman as well as she continues her role here on campus. Well, the Muss is turning 20 years old this year. That group has now grown to 7,000 strong and has changed the game day atmosphere dramatically at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Kevin Stoker now introduced you to one of the founding members in our Superfan segment.
Jamie, thanks for joining us. It was great to catch up to you. You're such a super fan. It's time we highlight you.
Hey, it's a great day to be a Ute and coming at you from Utah County, enemy territory, but representing the Utes every day down here.
Somebody's got to do it. You're the man for it. Just wanted to ask you a couple questions, just your history with the U, but who was your favorite player?
Man, that's such a tough question because I've been going to games since 1985. I think about Scott Mitchell, Brian Rowley, but I have to go with maybe Steve Smith. He might have been my all-time favorite. I love the moxie and his style of play, and to see his career in the NFL too. I'm a big Steve Smith fan. I just have to piggyback. I'll never forget though the time we were there. Morgan Scally, Sione Pua, Alex Smith, doing service projects with Paris Warren and Steve Savoy. Great memories.
How about a favorite past game?
I have to say, we call it with amongst my peers the year of the rat. You might remember Brian Johnson went down with an injury. We were heading down to Provo a couple weeks later. No one gave us a prayer to beat BYU down here. And I came down with a bunch of friends. We were sitting on the third row, happened to be in the end zone where the overtime took place. And to see Ratliff play the game of his life, including running all over the field, and then in overtime to hit Latondras with the game-winning touchdown, and to see Utah run the circus defense on the last play and it to fall short for incomplete pass by BYU. That was pretty sweet to win in Provo that day.
That one is a good one. I love hearing all these favorite games because you can't pick a bad one. But so how about a favorite Utah tradition?
I have to tell you, and this is a credit to the Muss. So when the Muss started, we didn't have this tradition, but now being a fan and sitting in the stands and looking over the Muss every game, I love the third down jump. So what you guys have created, the Muss, the third down jump has to be the coolest tradition that I've seen around.
Awesome. And how about your favorite highlight, if you had to go back and pick one?
Oh, that is such a great question. But I'm going to go with, I'm just going to go with the first quarter of the Sugar Bowl as a whole highlight. Package that sucker in.
Yes.
First quarter of the Sugar Bowl. Boom!
That was a highlight. That was great. So, and I've got to bring it up. Jamie, you were one of the founding members of the Muss. You were on student alumni board and you put it together. So kudos goes to you. This is the 20th season. What's your favorite memory of kind of those days or the Muss sense?
Great memories because, and you were there with us, Kevin, there were humble beginnings. There was a lot of naysayers that said it couldn't be done. But we just got out, and we got out on campus. We just street contact everyone and say, do you like football? And if they'd say no, we said, do you like beautiful people, blue sky, green grass? And just by word of mouth and a lot of, fire in the bones, we got 800 there that first year. And then just great to see what took off from there. And of course, when Urban came, it shot up. And then credit goes to all the other Muss boards that have followed in our footsteps and where they've taken it to this point. But without a doubt, just great memories from the humble beginnings, but the vision that we had, and then to see that vision come to life over the years has been so inspiring.
You deserve a lot of credit with all those boards, and the 20th season is going to be fun. We've got a lot of stuff planned, so look forward to that.
Awesome, Kevin. Great day to be a Ute as always. Go Utes, and I'm looking forward to a great season.
Go Utes. Thanks, Jamie.
Well, the Muss impacting home atmosphere at football, volleyball, basketball, so many sports. And speaking of volleyball, the Ute volleyball team now ranks 17th in the country this week, and their star player, Dani Drews, comes from a full, accomplished Ute athletics family. She might be one of the best. She is a two-time first-team All-American and was named the Pac-12 Player of the Year last spring. I recently had a chance to sit down with Utah star outside hitter, Dani Drews. Joined now by not only one of the greatest volleyball players in school history, one of the greatest athletes ever to wear a Utah uniform, Dani Drews, joining us from the Utah volleyball team. Thanks for dropping by the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, let's get into your background. I know it's been told, but for those who don't know, let's get into it a little bit here. So your parents Paul and Mickey were both two-sport athletes, great athletes here at Utah. Your mom played volleyball and hoops. Your dad played football and baseball. And then you have two brothers, Jackson and Cody, who have been through the football program now, both in the NFL. And then there's you. You've got one more coming that we can talk about later. But for you, was there any question you were going someplace other than Utah coming out of high school?
Yeah, no, it's definitely become like a family thing. For a little bit in high school, I thought maybe I'd want to go out of state or just go far away, do my own thing. But then as I got closer to making the decision of where I was going to end up, just when I saw myself in the future as a college player, I just saw myself wearing a Utah jersey.
What was it like growing up in your house? I mean, I have two parents who were college athletes, brothers. You're the only girl in the family. The siblings. What was it like growing up in the Barton house?
Definitely very loud, very competitive, a lot of action going on, but super fun. And I'm really grateful for the upbringing that I did have, just because I feel like my parents and my siblings did a really good job kind of turning me into the competitor that I am today.
You've had a great career. Now your super senior year, you got a bonus year because of COVID-19, but two-time first-team All-American. But the honor that kind of stands out to me for you is you're the reigning Pac-12 Conference Player of the Year. Utah hasn't had many of those in this league yet. In a sport like volleyball, it's a great volleyball conference. To be the Pac-12 Conference Player of the Year in volleyball, what's that mean to you?
Yeah, that was definitely something that was a goal of mine headed into college. I wanted to try and get that award one day. And so for me, I'm just extremely grateful and humbled because it took a lot of work, a lot of hours, and a lot of people helping me get there, especially like my teammates. To me, it's really, a team award, because if you don't have a good team, you're not even in the running for that.
Right.
So, I'm just grateful for everyone that helped me get to that. And yeah, I just feel like even emotional talking about it, because it was just something that a lot of work went into getting that.
It's pretty incredible. I mean, like I said, Stanford, Washington really kind of been the dominant teams in this league, and it was a player from Utah that won the award a year ago, but that speaks to your ability and what you've done in this league. You talked about that was a goal for you. In terms of your goals coming in compared to how it's played out during your time in Utah, compare those two. Has it been what you thought it would be?
Yeah, I still feel like I'm not done yet. There's still a lot of things I want to accomplish as an individual and as a team. But I think it's been really cool to see kind of how my career has panned out, especially now that I've been here, I feel like, for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, a bonus year, like I said, because of COVID-19 to finish it up for you. But let's talk about this team a little bit. You've already defeated 4 top 25 teams. You guys have been playing really good volleyball from the start of the year up till now. Tell us about this team. How good can this group be before we're done?
Yeah, I definitely think we've had some really big-time wins that have shown our potential and what we can do when we're all just firing on all cylinders, I guess. I think we have a ton of talent and also just a ton of heart. I feel like this is a really special group just because we've decided that we want our theme to be family this year. And I think that we truly embody that, and we treat each other like family and hold each other to a high standard, and are able to, just be able to really be bought into what we want to achieve. And I think everyone can agree that we still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And it's just exciting to see that we're just starting to tap into the potential that we have.
For athletes, you kind of sometimes get done and you get married and do some things. You've been married a couple of years already to Christian Drew, who's a former football player here. So that part's taken care of. You're working towards a major in Parks, Rec, and Tourism, but you told me about an internship you're doing this fall. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I'm finished with all my classes, so now I get to focus on my internship to finally get my diploma. But I'm with an organization called Voice in Sport, and it is basically an organization that is aiming towards elevating women in sport and just making their voices louder and kind of trying to, equal that playing field and raise awareness of Title IX issues or just really any issues facing women in sport today. So it's something that I really feel passionate about, and I'm really happy to be working with because we work with younger athletes as well. And there's just so many good mentorship opportunities there, and we get to work with Olympians and just a ton of other athletes from all over the country. So it's really a cool experience for me, and I'm so grateful to be able to have that opportunity.
That's a great opportunity. Well, before you leave here, you'll be the all-time leader in kills. And Beth has mentioned you're one of the best in the country at back row attacking. What's made you so good at that particular facet of your game?
We definitely work on it a lot, but I don't know. I just think when the setters give me the opportunity to go get it, I'm like, sweet, I'm just going to go hit it. But yeah, I love hitting out of the back row. It's super fun.
All right, well, off to a great start and some big volleyball ahead. Dani Drews, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, two-time first-team All-American, one of the best in Utah history. Well, the football team not only got a win last Saturday, the volleyball team did as well at USC on Friday. And in that match, Dani Drews achieved another milestone at Utah. She is now the all-time leader in kills for the Utes. The Utah volleyball team on the road this weekend. They're back home next Friday at 6 and Sunday at 1 p.m. in the Hussman Center. Well, a big matchup coming up tomorrow night. Utah against Arizona State. And it should be great to be back home at Rice-Eccles Stadium after a full day of tailgating. We'll have the game at 8 o'clock. Here's Chef Pete with some details on some tailgating ideas for tomorrow.
Chef Pete, last week's recipe was incredible. What do you have for us today?
Well, mate, one of my favorites, beef short ribs. Then we're going to do some pork ribs after that. But I want to walk you through the process of the beef ribs. And as I said before, we've got a great recipe up on the website. This is an amazing barbecue sauce. The beef short ribs, I just go to the local butcher, get him to cut them for me. I like them nice and small. I like to marinate them in Pepsi overnight. Pepsi Cola, really good. Now, then of course, I do my old favourite, garlic and ginger. And then we slow cook them for 2.5 hours at about 275. And then we're going to brown them in the oven, bring them up a little bit, take them out of the oven and put them on the grill. So, and just finish them off in the grill. And then we just smother them with the Pepsi Cola barbecue sauce, which the recipe will only be on the website for the alums. Only.
Secret
So,
recipe then, huh?
secret recipe, and these ribs are to die for. Appetizers. So something light, something easy to make. And one of my favorite things, because I love saying the word, baba ganoush. So this is an eggplant dish. And just to go over it briefly, because we do have the recipe on the website, you take an eggplant, and prick it with a knife, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt, put it in a hot oven to 350 degrees. That'll be about 20 minutes.
Okay.
20 to 30 minutes, depending on the oven. And then you take the skin off, or you can just turn this over and take the spoon and take all this out. Then you add a bit of lemon juice. Then we add some tahini paste, olive oil, salt and pepper, a little bit of our cumin, a little bit of black pepper, and a little bit of grilled lemon juice. And then to finish it off, I like to do some Kalamata olives, and a little bit of olive oil, and that is an amazing dip.
And just dip it with the pita bread?
Dip it with the pita bread, and that's it. Done.
Simple.
All right, we're joined now by a guy who has given some life to this Utah offense the past few weeks, Cam Rising, the quarterback from California who has taken over as a starter. Cam, thanks for joining us.
Of course, glad to be here.
Let's talk about your journey. So you grew up in California, highly recruited out of high school. You go to Texas, you redshirt there in 2018. You decide to transfer. What was it about Utah that stood out to you during that decision-making process?
Just how much of a family aspect really this program has, and just the coaches, they're unreal. They do a great job with what they do, and just knowing Coach Witt's rap sheet, he produces great athletes year in, year out, and really knows how to win games, and I just wanted to be a part of that.
Your teammates voted you team captain. For you to be voted captain in that time period, what did that mean to you?
It's a tremendous honor. Whenever you can have a group of 110 or 115, or I think around there, guys vote for you, it's a tremendous honor, and I just really appreciate everyone for voting for me, and I love this team, so it's awesome to be in this situation.
We come to the game against San Diego State, and you obviously had some juice in you. Your teammates responded to you. I mean, you could just tell the situation was right for you in that moment to seize that you did well. I mean, you rallied the team and got into overtime. You lost the game, but it was obvious you were a difference maker. When you got the tap on the shoulder, hey, you're going in, what's going through your mind in that San Diego State game?
We got to come back. We got to go try and get back into a situation to where we can win this game, and we battled our rear ends off and made sure that we got into that situation, but just came up a little short.
All right, you grew up in California as a kid. You had a nice game against Washington State at home, but that USC game last week was kind of the signature moment for you, a 300-yard game. You threw for 3 touchdowns, ran for another. As a kid who grew up watching the Trojans, to go to the Coliseum, give the Utes their first win there ever, what did that moment mean to you last Saturday night?
It's a surreal moment. It was crazy. I had to do a few interviews, but I didn't really want to. I kind of wanted to go on the field, and I really wanted to talk to my mom because she wasn't able to be there. It was a surreal moment.
The play of the year so far had to be the flea flicker. It's 4th and 1, end of the first half. 1, how much had you worked on that play? And 2, when the play call comes in, what's going through your mind?
The play call came in was actually supposed to be a QB sneak, which was wristband 44.
Okay.
And QB that usually signals it in called it 4-4. He said wristband 4-4, and I knew wristband number 4 was the flea flicker, so I was thinking, let's go throw a touchdown. Let's go get it. And
so it was a play that wasn't supposed to happen that did, basically.
Yep, pretty much. And they called the timeout, and then we decided to stick with it, and yeah.
Wow. So I'm watching the play, and you had a similar look formation-wise, and then you run the play, they call timeout. I'm like, okay, they're going to play off of that look and run this play, and it worked out beautifully. So the ball comes back to you. You see Devon running. Are you thinking, we got this?
Yeah, get the ball to him as fast as I can and just throw it as far out there as I can.
Well, again, it was the signature moment this year. I thought that kind of turned the game clearly in Utah's favor. You guys you're coming on at that point, but to me that really is where that game swung. Plus you scored first possession of the second half. Let's talk about this team now. I mean, a couple losses in non-conference play, but you're 2-0 in the Pac-12. You control your own destiny at this point. How good can this Utah team be this season?
We still have all our goals right there in front of us. We want to do this for Aaron and also Ty, and just make sure that we're preparing as though it is a championship game. It is a Pac-12 championship game every time we're stepping out there on that field, and that's our goal, to make sure that we're doing that.
You're home this Saturday. I know this fan base can't wait to put their collective arms around this team on Saturday. What's it going to mean for this team to go out there, around the tunnel, and play in front of the fans on Saturday night?
Oh, it's going to be a great moment. We're going to need all of Rice Eccles to be rocking. It's going to be a great environment. Going to be a great game. Looking forward to it, and it's going to be exciting.
All right, that's Cam Rising, quarterback for the Utes. And now for more on the matchup, here's Bill Riley and Scott Mitchell.
Utah fans, Bill Riley and Scott Mitchell with you here at Rice Eccles Stadium, where Saturday night the University of Utah returns home in the biggest game of the year in the Pac-12 Conference to date, as they host the undefeated in conference play Arizona State Sun Devils. Utah's lost 6 times in Pac-12 action to the Sun Devils, but beat them the last time they were here back in 2019. Scott, we need keys for Saturday night's matchup between the Utes and Sun Devils, and I guess things are going to start first with maybe physical play.
Yeah, Utah's got to be physical. They got to be able to run the ball, got to be able to stop the ball. This game starts and stops at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. ASU is a very deep, strong team on their defense and offensive line fronts, and they're an experienced team. So you have got to match. They're going to come out physical. They're athletic, and you've got to match that physical play of ASU.
They've got a lot of chippiness to them too. If you remember that game for 2019, also if you remember that game for 2019, Jaden Daniels was a true freshman, and Utah really got after him. Well, he's back, and he's better than he was in 2019. Scott, what's Utah got to do with Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, Jaden Daniels might be the best quarterback in the Pac-12. He's a talent, both throwing and running the football, but especially on third down. They like to give him the ball, whether it's making plays just on his own or making plays by design, but expect him to run the ball short, medium, and throw it effectively on third down. But you got to stop Jaden Daniels on third down. You got to get off the field.
Utah has played Arizona State in the Pac-12 era 5 times here at Rice Eccles Stadium. They have turned the ball over 15 times in 5 games against the Sun Devils. I don't think they can afford to do that Saturday night.
No, turnovers. The turnovers of the ball game. I mean, that's the key to me, really, because these are 2 evenly matched teams. They're 2 teams that are playing very well. They're the only 2 teams that haven't lost in the Pac-12, and this game really will come down to one of those key factors of turnovers. Utah's shown a propensity to turn the ball over. So is ASU. They'll turn the ball over. So it's who controls the football, who takes care of the football, and who turns it over. Either zero or the least is the team that's going to win this game.
Well, two teams that really want it, and the winner of this game Saturday night probably has the inside track to the Pac-12 South title. Win the turnover battle, control Jaden Daniels on third down, and get physical against Arizona State. Those are Scott's keys. We'll have the broadcast for you coming up Saturday night beginning at 8 o'clock. The Utes and Sun Devils kick it off right here in front of what we hope is 51,444 screaming loud Utah fans. We look forward to seeing you Saturday night. For Scott Mitchell, I'm Bill Riley. Go Utes.
All right, thank you, Bill and Scott. We look forward to your call tomorrow night on the Youth Sports Radio Network and ESPN 700. Well, that will do it for today's show. Thanks to Kevin Stoker for his contributions. Thanks as well to Kay Zabrowski and Kris Verkovich for their work on the show. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to our guests as well. That will do it for our show. I'm Mike Lagashow. We'll be back with you November 19th before the matchup against Utah and Oregon. Until then, so long, everybody.